Welcome back everyone to Jitterbug Home Services. So today we're heading over to a customer's house that I've done a few things for. You've seen me take up her tile and then take a demo hammer to the floor. And the whole problem that's happening there is she's redoing her bathroom slowly, but she's basically contracting it all herself. And so what happened was she ordered flooring from the big orange company that I'm not going to say the name of because it makes them sound really bad. But it's one of the two big box stores that we order building supplies from. Anyways, she ordered flooring from there, and when she ordered it, she also paid for them to install it. And usually when you pay for one of those big box stores to install whatever or fix whatever, they have contractors that sign up in their program to be sent what's called pro referrals with the big orange company, and I forgot what it's called for the big blue company. And so the flooring people came out to deliver the stuff, the floor, and also install it, and first told her she needed her tile removed. So she hired me to remove the tile. I went, removed the flip tile, took it all out. Then they came back and said that the floor wasn't completely smooth. So she hired me to come back out and basically take down any spots of thin set. There weren't any raised spots when I left after taking the tile out, because that's part of taking tile out. I left it flat, but it wasn't exactly smooth. So I came back and smoothed the entire floor. Any gouges that were there I filled with wood putty, as it's a wood tongue and groove floor that's down, the subfloor, and told her, let me know if they still say no and I can lay your floor for you. So they came back out, and again they told her it's not good enough. She needed to replace all the T&G, all the tongue and groove, which is absurd. I think what was happening was they were trying to get more work out of her. Reason being, when you sign up as a pro for one of those big box stores, the only way to get any kind of jobs is to have a lower rate and to not charge very much, or you go off of what the big box store charges. You get paid a percentage of that. I had signed up to be pro referral for a while, just to see if I could drum up a little bit more business, just get my name out there a little bit more. And out of I don't know how many referrals I went to, they of course require or request a estimate first. I'd give them an estimate, and I never once won the job. So basically I was going out there wasting my time, my gas, and time that I could be working for other people, and putting mileage on my truck, because some of them were pretty far away from me. And so anyways, I was going out there and giving estimates, and nobody was taking on my estimates because I'm not the cheapest person. But I'm very open with telling people I'm not the cheapest one out there. I'm not the most expensive, but I'm definitely not cheap. And nobody wanted to pay for it because, they want the cheapest. I prefer quality, using highest grade materials, and taking my time and making sure it's correct. So I don't charge hourly. I think that's what they were going for, was somebody that was only charging like 10, 15, 20 bucks an hour. But it's not sustainable to run a business off of that. So I'm kind of wondering if any of them are licensed. Anyways, she ran into this huge issue. She ended up telling them, never mind, she doesn't want them to install it, and actually turned around and told them she's not even buying flooring from them. So she returned the entire order, called me, asked if I'd be willing to give her an estimate for flooring. I shot her an estimate, she accepted it immediately, and she bought flooring from another company, and today I'm going over to install that flooring. So you guys will be able to be along for the ride. So the first step in installing this LVP flooring. LVP is luxury vinyl plank. It's almost consistently referred to as LVP just because it's easier to say. So to install this flooring, you first lay down an underlay. There's some floors, some LVP that comes with pre-installed underlay on each plank. The flooring that this customer bought did not. She had underlay. I brought 3 rolls of underlay as well, and so it was basically which one was better. She was looking for waterproof, and the stuff that she had was styrofoam and plastic, which is obviously extremely waterproof, but also the LVP that she bought was waterproof. There's 2 main brands that people go for, Pergo and LifeProof. In my opinion, and most people that I talk to that are in this industry, we prefer LifeProof. It's just a more durable plank, more durable flooring. It's also completely waterproof and has a pretty decent warranty on it. Pergo is also a really great brand. Pergo does not come with the pre-installed underlay. LifeProof does. So for LifeProof, you just don't need the underlay unless you want extra padding, and you could always throw down like a cork underlay or something like that. So anyways, I installed the styrofoam underlay on here, made sure all the seams were taped, and repaired any seams that weren't perfect, so that she had a little bit of padding, but mostly the waterproof quality in case there was any gaps that ever arose in the floor. And this floor is obviously going into a bathroom. So the next step in laying this flooring was to remove the toilet. I was starting on that wall where the toilet butts up against it. The reason that I started at that wall was I was thinking about sight lines as you walk into the bathroom, and sight lines as you get out of the shower, as she gets out of the shower. And mostly I don't like to leave any sight lines where it's a cut board, lengthwise cut. And also it doesn't match up quite as well if it's a lengthwise cut, and I just wanted it to look as best as possible for her, so that every time she got out of the shower or every time she walked into her bathroom, she saw full pieces, full cuts, and didn't have to look at any odd cuts that I had to make around anything, or lengthwise cuts. Obviously there will be baseboard laid over all the edges, but I just wanted it to look as good as possible. When you're laying tile, the same as when you're laying LVP, you mostly want to leave the cut sides basically you think of at the toes. So like coming out of the shower, they would be at the lip of the shower, at the curb, because you're not going to see it very often. And also you would want it more towards the entrance to the bathroom, because you're not going to see it very often. You're going to walk past it before you really start looking at the flooring. So she got her cuts over by the medicine cabinet, the vanity, and in the corners where you really don't look into behind a wall or something like that is where the cuts went in for hers. Anything around doorways and door frames and the entrance door got tucked under so that there's no visible cuts, and it looks like it's a perfectly flowing flooring and with no breaks in it. You can see here that I'm using my oscillating tool to cut out certain areas. What I was doing here was making a cut around the feed pipe that goes into the toilet. It's right up against the wall. That got another piece that part of the cutout got put back in place so that there's no visible cutout there. It looks like a hole was drilled. Without removing the valve, there was no way to actually drill a hole and set it over top. And so I just made a cut around it and then put the piece back in. And then the other pieces you're seeing me trim down are to go around the toilet flange. The toilet will be set over top of the LVP, and so you won't actually see any of those cuts. It will duck under the toilet, and it also helps to raise the toilet up a little bit so that it matches up to the flange the way it's supposed to. Although my camera wasn't turned down for you to see it, this spot that I was doing was actually a stride cut around where a wall sticks out, and it's the wall for one side of the shower. I had to scribe a V into that piece to slide under the wall when I was laying the flooring in, and then I actually ducked under a shelf that's back there to lay flooring all the way up into the corner. So there's a lot of angles on those cuts just to make sure it was perfectly flowing flooring, and made it look like it continued through the entire thing under the shower and everything. These pieces over here, I had to scribe around the door frame for the closet. It's the linen closet right there. I set a piece of flooring coming off of the run that I was already doing, just so that I made sure to line up the flooring that I was having to install backwards into this closet, which again keeps the flooring lines perfectly straight, so that if you were to look at it and measure it on both sides of that wall right there, it would look like the flooring goes under the wall instead of stopping at the wall and going around it. So the floor is finished, at least being laid is finished. I have a few alterations to make. I have to put down baseboards and put down caulk or whatever, seal it up, hide any bad spots, anything that isn't exactly perfect, but all that's gonna happen tomorrow. So anyways, here's the floor. See angled cuts in here, those were exciting. This is probably the hardest cut that had to be scribed in. There's that piece right there. That was a difficult one. This was another scribing cut under there. Tough to see, but it's all floored in. Over here. And then this actually got floored backwards because I had started over here. So I had to go this direction, but it worked out just fine. So it's all hidden beautifully right there under that threshold, and then down in there. So everything's nice and tight. Everything looks good. I'm happy with it. I'm sure the customer's happy with it. Like I said, baseboards have to go in. A little bit of caulking has to be done. But yeah, it sure looks good, and I'm surprised and happy with myself that I was able to get it done in one day. So tomorrow will be a little bit simpler, although a little bit more tedious.